So next type of motor is DC compound motor. So from the name, we can say that compound motor consists of part of the field winding connected in series and part of the field winding connected in parallel with the armature. So it is further classified into a long shunt compound and short shunt compound. Right? So there are two uh, types available here. One is long shunt compound and second one is short shunt compound. So let's see one by one. So first type is long shunt. Only the way in which the field winding, right, the series and parallel, that is shunt windings are connected. So based on that only we are calling it as long shunt and short shunt. So long shunt compound motor will be like this. So we are having the motor armature here and part of the series winding connected here and parallel winding connected across the armature as well as the supply. So if you have this kind of connection, that is nothing but a long shunt compound motor. So supply voltage is V, is drawing a current of IL, line current. So then the current through this winding, we call it as I shunt. This is having a resistance of R shunt. Then a current flowing through this, we call it as I series, is having a resistance of R series. This is the motor armature having a resistance of RA and the current going into the armature is IA. Fine. So this is about the long shunt compound motor. We can write the current and voltage equations. First, let's write the current equations. As you see here, right? So this point is a node or junction. So we can write the current equation. So at this junction or node, what is the incoming current? IL is the incoming current. There are two outgoing currents, that is I shunt and I series. But if you see here, this current I series, right, or this field, series field and this armature, they are connected in series. Therefore, I series is equal to IA. So I can also write I series is equal to armature current IA. Right? Therefore, I can rewrite IL is equal to I shunt plus IA. And as usual, how we can find out I shunt? So I shunt we can find using V divided by R shunt, right? So the voltage appearing across field winding is the supply voltage V. So V divided by the resistance R shunt will give me the current I shunt. Now let's write the voltage equation for this long shunt compound motor. So V will be equal to, it is used to supply the back EMF plus the drop across the armature winding IARA, and we with the armature we have the series field winding, so we have to add the drop I series R series plus if there is any brush contact drop we have to take that also into account, V brush, right? So V is equal to EB plus IRA plus I series R series plus V brush, right? Now I series is equal to IA, right? I series is equal to IA. So I can also rewrite this equation as V is equal to EB plus IA. I can take it as common outside. into RA plus R series plus E brush. So this is the voltage equation for a long shunt compound motor. Now we'll see short shunt compound motor. So second type is short shunt compound motor. So again, how the series field and shunt field windings are connected with the armature. So depending upon that only, we are calling this as a short shunt compound motor or a long shunt compound motor. So let's draw the diagram, the circuit diagram of a short shunt compound motor. So we have our armature here. Also the series field. But how the shunt field is connected here is, instead of connected here, the starting winding, the starting end of the field, shunt field winding will be connected like this at this point. Okay, so this is the short shunt compound motor. So we have the supply voltage V, and this is the shunt field R shunt. So when you give the supply voltage V, the motor is going to draw current IL. This current when goes here, this is our field winding. Let's say R series is the resistance of the series field winding. The current going into the field winding, let's call it as I series. So after this point, right? So here there is a junction or node, right? Then it is getting divided into two. So this current is I shunt, is your motor, and this current, right? So this current, what you see here is IA, right? So this machine will be connected with some load, going to serve some load. Now let's write the current and voltage equations for this short shunt compound motor. So what will be the current equation if you take IL? So IL will be equal to, right, this IL is going to flow here as I series. Therefore, IL is equal to I series. But if you see here at this junction, I series is incoming current, correct? Right? IL or I series, right? Both are equal. So IL is equal to I series is the incoming current, that is equal to, that is getting divided into two. So the outgoing currents are IA and I shunt. So I can write is equal to IA plus I shunt. I am just using Kirchhoff's current law. So IA plus I shunt. So we can write IL is equal to IA plus I shunt. Now the drop across the shunt field winding, that is to be calculated from the voltage equation. So what is the voltage equation we have? We have the voltage equation V is equal to EB plus I series R series plus IARA plus B brush, the brush contact drop. Okay, but I series is equal to IL. The series current is equal to the line current as per the connection we have using in short shunt compound motor. So therefore, we can also write V is equal to EB plus IL R series plus IARA plus brush contact drop V brush. Now we want to know the drop across shunt field winding. Previously, it was connected like this, right? Here it was connected. It was connected. So if you want to know the shunt current, generally you take voltage then divided by R shunt, that will give you I shunt. But now the drop is not V, right? The voltage across the field winding is not V. It is, we have to subtract this drop. Therefore, we need to calculate the drop across the shunt field winding separately here. Okay. So drop across shunt field winding, we can write it as which is nothing but V minus IL R series. Okay, that is the drop. That will be equal to, if I take V and V minus IL R series, that will be equal to EV plus IARA plus V brush from the previous equation. So if I want I shunt, that will be equal to, either I can take this is a drop. So V minus IL R series divided by R shunt, that is drop across the shunt field winding divided by shunt field winding resistance, or I can take this, right, as drop across the shunt field winding. That is EB plus IARA plus V brush divided by R shunt. Any one formula we can use. Okay, so this is for previously in all other, say, shunt motors, in DC shunt motor and long shunt motor, we generally use this formula. I shunt is equal to simply V divided by R shunt. But in short shunt, it is calculated using any of this formula. You can use this one or this one, right? Any one formula we can use to find out the shunt field current. So apart from this long shunt and short shunt compound motors, there is one more classification, that is cumulatively compound motor and differential compound motor. So what is this cumulative and differential compound motors? That is, we are winding the two field windings, that is series field and shunt field windings, in such a way that the fluxes produced by these two, that is series field and shunt field, always help each other. Then that type of motor is cumulatively compound motor. If the fluxes produced by series field and shunt field, they try to cancel or oppose each other, means that motor is called differential compound motor. Okay. So another classification is, you can make a note, cumulative compound motor and differential compound motor. This is another classification. Okay. So a long shunt compound motor can be of cumulative or differential type. Similarly, short shunt compound motor also can be of cumulative or differential type. Okay. Now we have to talk about the torque and speed equations. So next topic is torque and speed equations. Of different motors, because to know which motor can be used for a particular application, we must know the torque and speed characteristic. So that can only be known from the torque and speed equations of each and every motor. Okay. So before analyzing the various characteristics of motors, we have to revise the torque and speed equations as applied to various type of motors. So from the torque equation, what we have got? We have got torque is proportional to flux phi into armature current Ia. Correct? Because other terms like 0.159 PZA, those things are constant, right, for a given motor. So flux is the flux produced, phi is the flux produced by the field winding, and that will be proportional to the current passing through the field winding. Correct? So this flux phi is proportional to the current produced or current in the field winding. But for various type of motors, current through the field winding is different. Correct? In shunt motor, it is different. In series motor, it is different. Compound motor also, it is different. So accordingly, torque equation will be modified. So let's take a DC shunt motor. Right? So for a DC shunt motor, we said I shunt is constant. The field current I shunt is constant because as long as we are not changing the voltage, then this is not going to change. Therefore, flux is constant. Therefore, flux is also, that's why we call the DC shunt motor as constant flux motor. So phi is also constant. So according to our equation, if flux is constant, torque is only varying depending upon Ia. So this we have to remember for shunt motors. So for shunt motors, torque is proportional to only the armature current. Now for DC series motor, what we saw, I series, right? I series is equal to Ia. Therefore, flux is proportional to armature current Ia. So we can say that flux is proportional to armature current Ia. Therefore, we have the basic torque equation. Torque is proportional to Ia into phi. So what I can write, since flux is also proportional to Ia, I can write Ia into Ia. Therefore, in series motor, torque is proportional to Ia square. So this is a very important relation we have to remember. So this is for the case of series motor. So series motor, torque is proportional to Ia square. Whereas in the case of shunt motor, torque is proportional to Ia. Similarly, we need to know the speed equations. Right? We need to know the speed equations. So for knowing the speed equations, we can make use of EB. Right? So what is EB? So EB is equal to pi p n z divided by 60A. This is what we have got. So we can write the speed equation, or EB is proportional to phi n. So as long as you vary, right, the flux and speed, EB is going to vary. That's the meaning. Or we are interested in knowing about the speed of the motor. That's very important parameter. So n is proportional to EB divided by phi in the above equation. This is a very important. Even in interviews, they'll ask, what are the parameters on which the speed of a motor depend on? Correct? But we have also got, right, another voltage equation, B is equal to EB plus IARA. Let's neglect the brush draw. So from this, I can write EB is equal to B minus IARA. So let's substitute EB instead of EB here in this equation, B minus IARA. Therefore, I can write N is proportional to B minus IARA divided by phi flux. Now, based on this equation, let's see for DC shunt motor. So DC shunt motor, what we have concluded, for DC shunt motor, flux phi is constant. So this is constant. So speed will be proportional to only EB or B minus IARA. This is the case of shunt motor. But series motor, flux is proportional to Ia. So for series motor, flux is proportional to Ia. Therefore, N is proportional to V minus IARA. Instead of flux, I can write Ia. Right? This is the case of series motor. So this torque and speed equation, this relation play an important role in understanding the various characteristics of different types of motors. So that's very important. Next is some term we have speed regulation. Okay, so next is speed regulation. So what is the meaning of speed regulation? The ratio of change in speed according to no load and full load condition. Okay, to speed corresponding to full load. So I can mathematically write, generally it is expressed in percentage. So percentage speed regulation will be equal to N. N is speed, right? N at no load. NL means no load minus speed at full load divided by N full load into 100. So this is speed regulation. And if you multiply with 100, that is going to give you the percentage speed regulation. Okay.